this is going to be super informal. I will probably make this video public just because, but I do better at expressing myself verbally. So I just wanted to hit a few things. I was talking to someone last night. She's also suffering with OCD, not the type of OCD we struggle with. But we all know that OCD still has the same patterns. And I have suffered with scrupulosity for 2 years. August and September 2023 is when I broke down. And, I had many promises from the Lord. The Lord, when I look back, his hand was all over the place. And I'll say this real quick. For a long time, I felt guilty that God was very apparently showing himself to me. But then I could not seem to get it together or figure it out, which is one point I want to make as well, to figure things out. And I had to I was missing something. I got to figure it out. Well, if you know anything about OCD, well, that is the OCD. You got to figure it out. Like with the scrupulosity, you got to figure it out. Figure out what's going on. So, anyway, I felt like I had to figure out what he's trying to tell me. And in looking for things, okay, well, maybe he's trying to tell me this. Well, one, I'd find things that weren't actually there. My brain came up with all kind of stuff. And then I was going down a wild goose chase for no reason and adding stress. So, anyway, I felt guilty. And you know how OCD is. OCD takes everything, even good things, and flips and screws it up. So I felt guilty for a long time because I felt like God was really showing his hand, and I just wasn't able to just stop worrying. But it wasn't until me being at Honey Lake that I realized God continues to show his hand, and he's not frustrated with me. He knows what's going on, and out of love, he continues to give me reassurance. He continues to show up for me. So, anyway, but as I was contemplating what has gone on in the last 2 years and how the Lord has used it, I have a hard time really expressing it. But I'll say this. I realized that I was a class A overthinker before the OCD. I was still trying to figure things out, like what is God's will for my life. Overthinking. Just trying to figure everything out. And that's the OCD thing too. Figure everything out. But it was like the OCD was all these things that I had going on steroids, bringing those things to the surface. And so when I learned how to operate with the OCD, the response, you get these questions. What if this? What if that? I don't know. Maybe not. We know that that's the response you're supposed to give OCD. I don't know. Maybe not. Well, if you think about it, there's a lot of things that we deal with that are fear-based. A lot of people have what-if questions that are not OCD. And yet, we, as Christians, what scrupulosity has done has simplified my faith. It's strengthened my faith, put it where it needs to be, and has simplified it. So, I no longer know the word in my head. God has walked me through there's many stories in the word that I now I feel like I've lived it. So, anyway, responding to what if, I don't know, maybe not. Because what if is really like a fear-driven thing. And in the past, I had this deep desire to do the right thing. I wanted to do the right thing. And so one thing that like hit me was how dysfunctional I had become in my obsessing over doing the right thing. I wanted to do the right thing. It wasn't like, if I don't do this, I'm a bad person. There was a genuine desire there to do the right thing. But the way I went about it was actually not only not helpful, but not fruitful. It wasn't fruitful. So, because there was a lot of overthinking in it. And so now on the other side of OCD, I can honestly say that I don't worry about tomorrow, literally. When my brain starts going to tomorrow or the next day or what if it, like today. That's all I'm promised is today. And when the word says to trust the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your understanding, and all your ways acknowledge Him, He'll make your path straight. You trust. He'll make your and you trust. If your heart's desire is to please Him, you trust Him. He guides your steps. I can't tell you how many times in the definitely last 45 days, where God has made it very apparent that He put me in the right place at the right time, and I was not overthinking a thing. I was not, what about this? Or, like, the overthinking. I wasn't overthinking it. Little things like in the past that when I gave, I was so like, so Jesus says, don't let your left hand know what your right hand would do. So I took everything so literally that if I couldn't give anonymously, I wouldn't give. And so I would like stress out about trying to find a way to not give, or to give in a way that no one knows it's me, because I do the right thing. Miss the point, Tabitha. You're missing the forest for the trees. It's about a heart, a posture. And so, on this side of things are complex. Things are way more complex than we like. And my site provider at Honey Lake said one thing. She quoted somebody, and I'm going to screw it up, but I'm going to try to do my best. Like, this side of complexity, this simplicity, I wouldn't give a fig. On the other side of complexity, the simplicity that comes on the other side of complexity, I would give everything. So, like, we start out, things are real simple. We're naive. Then we go through something that causes us to go, oh, this is so much more complicated. But then on the other side, it simplifies again. But we're smarter. And so what I have learned is that in spiritual warfare and everything that we got going on, sometimes we think things are happening and it's the devil, but it's really God. And sometimes we think that it's really God, but it's actually the devil. And we don't know. We don't know. Sometimes things look like they're the devil, but it's God trying to teach us a lesson. And sometimes, you just never know. But the point of the matter is this: I don't have to know. I don't have to know who it is that's doing it. With the scrupulosity, one of the ways that I wound up kind of getting better, moving towards getting better, is letting go of figuring anything out. And that's not just good for OCD. Stop trying to figure it out. Stop thinking that you obsessing over what is God's will is going to get you where you need to go. That's not what the obsessing and the ruminating is not what gets you in God's will. It's simple. Lord, I want your will for my life. Lead and guide my steps. That's simple. And you don't have to figure out, is God trying to tell me this? Is God trying? He's not trying to make it where you have to figure it out. Stop trying to figure it out. When it's time, if there's something he's trying to teach you or show you, he will do it. It will be clear. And so if you're confused and you don't know what's going on or who's causing it, don't let it go. Let it go. Stop trying to figure it out. Because ultimately, if you're in Christ, we have this promise that God will work all things out for our good and for his glory. Good, bad, ugly, if he allowed it, if it's attack from the enemy, because you know that story with Job, that's very complex. Like, Satan attacked Job with God's permission. Job didn't ever know what was going on. So, and then it like, we lean, the working and the trying to figure it out is leaning on your own understanding. So when your brain starts asking you all these questions, you say, I don't know. I don't know. And that's not just good for OCD. That's good for us. Stop overthinking. Your overthinking is not getting you anywhere. Matter of fact, it's probably causing more harm than good. Like, I realize, it's like I have a weight lifted off of me of something that I've been dealing with all my life now, because I realized how dysfunctional it was. That I thought I was doing the right thing, and I did have the right intentions, but it wasn't God's will. That's not how it works. It's little things like, can't take a compliment, because if I take a compliment, I'm being proud or arrogant. So I like push the compliment. No, it's God. It's all God. And like, then it's like this feigning humility thing. You can't fix it. You can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it. Okay? You can't do it. So the best thing that could happen to you is for you to come to the end of yourself, realize you cannot do it, and begin to trust him to do it in you. It's like Peter. Peter denied Christ, but before he was like, I will not do that. I will die for you, Jesus. And Jesus like, you gonna deny me 3 times tonight? What you talking about? Peter was humbled. But Jesus like was gracious to him. And when Jesus is saying all these things to him, it was restorative, but it was a very humbling thing for Peter. And I understand, because I feel like before my breakdown, my faith was in my faith and my ability to do the right thing. And there was a little bit of pride that like, oh, I do the right thing. Yeah. Just being real with you. So, really quick, I don't know, like all these things, all these ways you're having to learn to cope with OCD and answer OCD. I don't know, maybe not. Just being present for today, trusting God for today, like that's where he wants you anyway. Not the overthinking, the trust, the faith to go, I don't know, but you do. I don't know. No, maybe not. So I got to cut this short. Hopefully that helps. But I promise you, because I've seen it in my own life, God can and will use this. It's horrible. Wouldn't wish it on anybody. But I would do it all over again. I would not trade a sleepless night that I've had for the knowledge that I have on the side. And it's not a knowledge here. It is like holy. The word tells us the Holy Spirit leads us into all truth. So he will lead you into the truth. You don't have to figure it out. You just pray and ask him. It's his will that you know the truth. And so earnestly come to him and expect the answer. It's that simple. It's so simple. Anyway, hope y'all have a wonderful night and have a good week next week. Check in with me and let me know how you're doing. Again, if you don't know what's going on and you're still here watching this video, I doubt it. But I I have been dealing with what they call scrupulosity. It's religious, also known as religious OCD. I plan to start back making videos here soon. Anyway, if I haven't seen you in a long time, hey. And anyway, y'all have a blessed evening. And Jesus is King. Have a good night.